Hello everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't, please pop something in the chat. That doesn't really work if you can't hear me. Claire, can you just pop something in the chat just saying if people can't hear to let us know? So welcome to our webinar today. You've got myself, I'm Brooke. Hopefully a few of you have had some email communication with me so far. I'm the inbound coordinator with the ANU Global Programs team. So it's my job to look after any student that's coming to the ANU on an exchange or study abroad program, which is all of you. And with me, I have my colleague Claire, and she works with me. She helps to process all of your applications. She'll probably be the one that's emailing you with your COEs when we get up to that stage, and just generally helping me answer all of your questions and everything. So she's going to be here on the chat today. So everyone that's participating in the meeting is on mute, just to avoid any confusion over who's talking. But if you do have any questions as we go through, please feel free as they come to your head, just pop them into the chat, and Claire will be keeping track of that and answering any questions that you have. You have the option in the chat to put the question just to the hosts of the meeting or to everybody. I suggest that you put them to everybody because the answers are probably going to be relevant for everybody as well, and it just helps us to prevent us from answering lots of the same questions. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk you through how to submit your application to study at ANU as an exchange or a study abroad student. We're already starting to get a few questions. There's a few quirks in the application process. So we just want to walk you through it and make sure that you are confident that you know exactly what you need to do. This is the ANU webpage that you'll end up on if you just search for ANU. From here, we're going to navigate through the application process, and I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks along the way. So Claire, feel free to jump in if there's any questions that come up as we're going along. Otherwise, I will just start. So we're going to click on this study tab here. And in the study tab, you can see that there's a section over here that's got information for a range of different students. So you are an exchange or a study abroad student. So we're going to go to this webpage. This webpage in itself has a lot of really useful information in it. It's got information about accommodation at ANU. It's got lots of information about why you would want to come to ANU, what support services we offer for our students. We've got a blog that's linked on there, and then we've got some information on Canberra and why we're rated so highly as a place to visit and a place to live as well. You can see there's some related websites on there, and then there's also links to our social medias as well as contact information for us as well. So that's what this page is. It's designed to help you as an inbound or what we call an inbound student, which is someone that's coming to ANU for their learning abroad experience. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go as if I'm applying for exchange. Now, if you're a study abroad student and you're watching this, I promise you it's exactly the same process, but where I'm about to hit exchange, you're going to select to apply for study abroad, but otherwise it's the exact same process. So you won't get too lost there. So I'm going to click apply for exchange. And it's going to take me to a page that's got a lot of really useful information. So it's got some step-by-step, a lot of these steps you have already done. So you, if you're watching this webinar, you've already done step 1, 2, and 3. And now we're up to step 4. So this is going to be the submitting of your online application to the ANU. Then step 5, you're going to wait for your offer from ANU, and then you'll move on to making course selections, fees, student visas, all of that sort of fun stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this handy little button here on the right hand side that says apply now. Okay, so I've already logged in. Normally you would get a screen that would pop up and just ask you to register or log in. I've already done that step so that you don't have to see me enter all of my information. But basically this is just going over some things that you may need to include in your application, but not necessarily. So it's talking about a non-award exchange program. It says there that it's for 12 months. Please disregard this at this stage. There is an opportunity to fix it. It's just that 12 months, for whatever reason, is listed as the default exchange program. It's talking about supporting documentation. So yes, you are going to need to attach an official copy of your academic transcript, as well as your current course enrolment. You're also going to have to upload evidence that you meet our English language policy. Where it's asking for a notification of sponsorship form, this is only applicable to study abroad students, and it's only applicable if your home institution is paying for you to come as a study abroad student. So if you're coming to ANU as an exchange student, don't worry about it. And if you're coming to ANU as a study abroad student and you're paying fees yourself, don't worry about it. We get a lot of questions about that form, and it's really only for a very, very small group of students. So now that I've kind of covered that, we're going to continue to step 1 of the application process. Okay, so we want to fill in or look at every section of this application. So we'll start at the beginning. So it's just this section is just going over some terminology, what our semesters look like. They may be a little bit different from what semester 1 or semester 2 at your home institution looks like. That's mainly just for your information. Now we're going to move on to the program of study. Now, the first thing that you need to know is that you do not need to fill in a second or a third preference. And your first preference is already automatically filled in that you want to come on exchange, because that's how you entered the application. If you have gone into this as a study abroad student, this first section up here where it says non-award exchange, that will say non-award study abroad. Okay, so you've got your first preference is automatically filled in here. So all you need to do is select the intake that you want to commence at ANU. And right now, the only option is first semester 2020, which is perfect. Oh, that's weird. So I did just hit this select intake box, but the little pop-up window isn't showing. So it just pops up with a little window, and there's literally only one option there, and it says first semester 2020. So you just select that option, and then you'll see here now it's saying first semester 2020. And I note that here it still says 12-month program here as well. Don't worry about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll straight past the second and third preferences. You don't need to put anything here at all. But what you do need to do is it says, please select the duration of the exchange or study abroad program. And in this drop-down menu, you can pick whether you want to do a 6-month, which is a 1 semester, or a 12-month, which is 2 semesters. So for most of you, you're probably going to hit 6 months here. What this does is, even though at the top here it says that you're coming for 12 months, it actually submits your application to us as a single semester application. The other thing to note though as well is that we match your application with your nomination from your home institution. So if you make a mistake on this step and you do end up applying for a 12-month exchange program, but you've only been nominated for 1 semester, we will manually make this amendment on our end before we send you an offer. So again, it's not too much of a problem. We're then going to move on to your personal details. So I'll obviously, it's already pre-filled most of my information from when I registered for the portal. So we're just going to have to, anything that's got this red star next to it is a required field. So I'm going to put my title in there. I'm going to say that I haven't studied at ANU previously. I've got date of birth, all of that sort of stuff. So Here where it's asking if your current name differs from supporting document, please provide evidence. If you've got anything like that, then obviously you'll just need to pop that in there. This is also a really good spot to just upload your passport. That is a required document that you do need to provide to us with your application. And it's a really good spot to just pop that in there as well. So I would recommend doing that. And then there's a question here about whether you have any disabilities or illnesses that may require further support services or equipment during your studies at ANU. I implore you to answer this question as honestly as you possibly can. So if you select yes, it's just going to give you some options of what this disability or illness looks like and what support you may require. I want to assure you and to really reiterate to you that this question has no bearing on the assessment of your application. It doesn't mean that we're going to discriminate against your application based on your answer to this question. What it does mean is that we can provide you with support and we can get you in touch with the correct team well before you start at ANU to make sure that all of the support that you may require can be well and truly in place before you start. This can be, you can see from this list, there's a huge amount of different illnesses or disabilities on here, whether it's an ongoing medical condition, anything at all, and you can even select that you have a disability or an illness, but you prefer not to disclose what that is. All that means is that then we know to send you some more information on the supports that are available at ANU, and then you can seek those out yourself. So I'm just going to change my answer to that question back to no. And then it's just going to, oops, zoomed out, ask us to put in some address details. So it is all required fields. Obviously, I've just put in some random information. Apparently, I am very worldly. Okay, so any fields that have this red star, they're required fields. So you do need to fill those ones in. You will need to update this information when you come to ANU as well. So at the moment, the postal address and the home address is whatever is relevant for you at home at the moment. You'll need to update that information once you arrive at ANU and you obviously have a new postal address with us. You're going to have to put in your contact details, so it will already have your email address, but you just need to pop your mobile phone numbers and stuff in there. Again, you will update that when you come to Australia, but for now it's just whatever is relevant for you at home. So some of these questions have been pre-filled from the information that you'll need to fill in when you register. I just need to fill that one in. Again, so it's just any of these ones that have the red star that you just need to fill in. These visa questions, they're pretty straightforward. Do you currently hold or have an Australian visa in the past 6 months? No. Have you applied for a visa to Australia? No. Have you had a visa refused for Australia or any other country? No. If you answered yes to any of these questions, again, it does not mean that you're not going to be able to get a visa or come to Australia to study. It just means that we can start to help you in answering those questions when they do come up on your visa application. So if you say no to us, but the answer is actually yes, it will get picked up with your visa application. It just means that you won't have the benefit of having us help you in answering those questions. So again, just a couple more visa-based questions there. And then the last section on this page is your course selections. So first and foremost, before I move on to showing you a little bit more about what course selections are, I just wanted to point out that it lists here your first semester at ANU. This is where everybody who is applying should put their 6 courses. If you're being nominated to ANU to study for a full year, you can, if you want, put in your second semester courses in here. but we don't really recommend that you do, because the courses that you want to do in your second semester are likely to change while you're here at ANU in your first semester with us. And we don't assess and approve those courses right now anyway. So there's no benefit of doing it now. In fact, it's actually saves you a little bit of time and effort to try and do that later. So what you're going to need to do is fill in these course selections. So as an exchange or study abroad student coming to the ANU, you'll be able to take 4 courses. That's what we call a full-time study load at ANU. And we recommend that most students will do a full course load. There is a possibility to drop down to 3 courses with the approval of your home institution, and that's a process that we'll cover much, much later in your journey with us. But for the moment, keep in mind that you will likely need to do 4 courses. We get you to fill in 6 courses because it just gives you that little extra buffer of about 30% of if one course doesn't get approved, or if you need some options to take back to your home institution. Whatever it is, it just gives you a little bit of flexibility and freedom there if you pick 6 courses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how that you go about selecting your courses, and there's some much more detailed information available about this, and we will do another webinar going over this in far more detail. So this is just very much a brief overview. So what you can do is you can just do a Google search or use any search engine, obviously, on ANU programs and courses. It will take you to an ANU run website that houses all of our courses that we offer at ANU. So we can go into that. And now what you want to do is you want to best narrow down what these options are going to give you. You want to go first to this box here that says search programs and courses. So we can go into that. And then we want to narrow it down even more to look for courses. So a program is a degree and a course is a single unit, if that terminology helps. So we're going to go to courses. And then down the side here, what we're actually going to do is we're going to filter this a little bit. So we're going to filter 99% of you will be undergraduate students. So for a start, let's filter it by undergraduate. Now we're going to also filter by first semester, so that we're only looking at courses that are available at ANU in the first semester of 2020. So that's going to narrow down our results. And then what we can do is we can do a keyword search. So if you want to do accounting, for example, this is going to bring up all courses that are available in ANU Semester 1 2020 at an undergraduate level in accounting. And then you've got the course code here, which is the 4 letters and 4 numbers, and then you've got the course title as well. So when you come back to your application, we've got the course code first, and then that course name or course title. Again, we'll go into a little bit more information on how to select courses and all of that sort of stuff, but just to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of what these pages include, we've got a little bit of an overview of the course. It lists what the learning outcomes are. That's going to be really helpful if you're matching courses back to your home institution. We've got the study tab, which is going to include a little bit about what the assessment for the course is going to look like, what the rough workload's going to be, what prerequisite requirements and incompatibilities there are, which is really important. And then just a little bit more information about how it fits into ANU's course structure. Now, this requisite and incompatibility, to be able to take this course, you will have need to have met similar learning outcomes to this ANU specific course. It doesn't mean that you have to have completed this ANU course, just that you've completed an equivalent course at your home institution. Again, we'll go into some more detail about that in a future session. It will talk about fees, which you don't need to worry about at all, and it will talk about when the classes are. So here you just again want to confirm that it's available for first semester 2020, because that's when you're going to be coming on exchange. Okay, so back to the application, you're going to fill this in for whatever 6 courses you identify that you want to take at ANU. We're pretty much going to skip the second semester one, and then we're going to go save and continue to move on to the next part of the application. Okay, so again, it comes through as minimized menus, but we just need to click into each of these to fill in information. So what is the highest level of prior educational achievement that you have successfully completed? This step isn't super relevant for you, to be honest. As you're all bachelor degree students or higher, I would just select bachelor degree from that. This question is more around students that are looking to transfer their degree or start a degree at ANU. So just pop in that. Level of education, we're going to put what you're currently undertaking. So for most of you, that will be a bachelor level degree. And again, for most of you, or for all of you actually, just put a bachelor pass degree. Again, it's not, we don't really use this information. What we're going to use later is your academic transcript and stuff when we're looking at your application. Here you need to select what institution that qualification is coming from. So so let's say you are coming from Canada and you're coming from Queen's University. So we're going to start typing it in and it will come up. And then we're just going to go okay. So all of our partner institutions should be listed in that menu for you to select from.
It didn't pop up, but
okay, all right, sorry. So the pop-up menu didn't pop up again. Sorry, I thought that it had. When you go to select institution, you'll select your country from a drop-down menu, and then you can start typing in the name of your institution, and it will pre-populate for you as well. Okay, and then completed, no, you haven't completed that qualification yet. That's pretty easy. In terms of the attended to and from, this information can be really useful for us in assessing your application, particularly if you intend on meeting our English language requirements based on your current study in English. So we do ask you to pop in here when you started your degree. I don't know why it goes back so far. And when you attended to is less important because obviously you're attending there right now. So that one doesn't really matter as much. Okay, so now it's asking for you to start uploading documentation. So this area is asking for a copy of your transcript. So what you can upload here, you've got 2 fields. So for the first one, you want to upload a copy of your official transcript. So for this document, we are looking at an official transcript document and it needs to be provided in colour. Very important, that's ANU's document requirement rules.
Sorry, I've just had a question. So Lucas has asked what he should select for qualification if he's already completed his bachelor degree.
Okay, so if you've already completed a bachelor's degree, we'll go back up here, and you're enrolled in a master's level degree, you can select postgraduate level, and then it will just give you a few different options here. So you wouldn't be coming on exchange as a doctoral degree student, so you would just select master's degree, and then master's degree by coursework. If you're coming on exchange, I would assume that you have a coursework element of your master's degree that you can complete while you're here. So I would just make that selection instead, and then that just gives us the information that you're looking at doing postgraduate level studies while you're here on exchange. So back to the transcript. So the first document, like I said, that you want to upload is a color copy of your official transcript. That should be every semester that you have completed previously. And the second file attachment that you can do here would be a copy of your current course enrollment. This doesn't need to be anything official. So this can be a screenshot, for example, of your current enrollment or a letter from your home institution saying what courses you're currently enrolled in. What this serves to do is to try and help you meet any prerequisite requirements that you may be meeting in this current semester. So it just helps our academics in terms of assessing your eligibility for courses more than anything else. Another question that really seems to trip people up is, would you like to be considered for potential course credit or exemption based on this qualification? I want you all to say no to this question. You're coming to ANU as a non-award student, so you're not actually getting any credit transfer from ANU, or to ANU, I should say. This question is around anyone who's looking to transfer their degree to ANU and would then be looking to stay on at ANU as a student. Even if that might be your intention, at the moment, you're only applying to be an exchange or study abroad student. So this question is completely irrelevant. So the next question is asking, have you ever been excluded or are you facing exclusion from a program or course on academic or other grounds? Again, I want you all to say no to this question because this question is relevant for students that have previously been students at ANU and that have been excluded. Unless that applies to you in some bizarro circumstances, just select no on that question. So here, this gets a little bit repetitive, and I understand that it feeds into different parts of our application system. So it's just going to ask you to list the name of your home institution or college again, the name of the study abroad or exchange advisor at your home institution, their email address, and the name of the degree or award that you're studying at your home institution. And then if you've got any majors, and what stage you're up to there. Basically, this just tries to help us have a little bit more information when we're assessing your application. We know who to contact if we've got any questions about your transcript or anything like that. So here again, it's asking for a mandatory document to be uploaded, and it's asking for your latest transcript. So I know that you've already uploaded your transcript, so this is a perfect opportunity to upload anything additional that you might need to upload, or just upload a second copy of your transcript.
We've just had a question about official translations for course enrolment, so current course enrolment rather than official transcripts.
Mm-hmm.
It's halfway through answering Nick, but I thought I might say it to the group. So your own translation is okay if it's just for your current course enrollments, but we do need an official translation for your transcript.
Yeah. Perfect. That's a really good spot to upload any translations as well. If you haven't made them all one document, up in the previous step, you've only got 2 spots, and we already discussed what you would upload in those 2 spots. So if you do have an original language transcript or anything that you need to upload, that's a good thing to upload there as well. And now it's asking about finance and scholarships. So this is just to start you really thinking about how you're going to fund your studies at ANU, or not so much your studies, but fund your stay in Australia. So I want you all really to just select self-funded. This is basically a Commonwealth supported place is only for domestic applicants, and the scholarships that it's asking about are ANU based scholarships that you may have already received, which none of you will receive a scholarship. If you receive any money, it will only be a grant funding. So I want you all to select self-funded on that page, regardless of what kind of scholarships you might be getting from your home institution or anything like that. And then we can go save and continue. If it will let me, because I didn't fill in those fields. Okay, and this is basically one of the last steps, and you do need to click every single one of these tick boxes, and you do need to read what you're agreeing to. So I'm just going to go through and tick them because you don't all need to sit there while I read through them. And we know I'm not really submitting a real application, but when you do go through the process of submitting your application, you do need to read all of these points and agree to all of these points.
Just had another question that would be great to just confirm through the recording. So we've been asked if it's possible to upload multiple files for the transcript. Yes, this is possible. So for example, if you've undertaken a bachelor's degree and you're now in your master's, please upload both transcripts, and you should be able to upload them both through the same portal.
You should. If you're having difficulty with spots that you can upload documents, then try combining the documents together if possible. It doesn't come through any differently on our end if they're combined or separate. So that's an option if you feel like you're running out of fields. But there is more areas that you can upload additional documents as we move on to the next page as well. Okay. So here, this step is really just about uploading documents. So we've already found a place to upload our passports. That was on the first page. We've already found a place to upload our transcript, to upload our current course selections that we're doing. We've found a place to upload our translated transcript. What we're looking for here is going to be your English proficiency documentation that you'll need to upload as another document here. You'll just need to put in, so you just need to upload the documents here, drag and drop, or you can click on it and it will pop up a window for you to find them on your computer, standard document upload procedures. And I believe that you can submit more than one document here. So for anyone who's studying a master's degree and you want to provide your bachelor's transcript, anyone who's trying to meet English language requirements, anyone that is providing course outlines for courses that they are doing or have done that meet prerequisite requirements for your course selections. All of that stuff can be uploaded here, and you can upload as many as you need to. Yeah, we talked about passports already. Yeah. If you don't upload your passport at the beginning, you can do that here too as well. So I'm not going to go through to the submit phase because everyone would be very confused about why I'm applying to be an exchange student. But basically you hit save and continue one more time, and you'll go through to an area where you submit your application and you review the information in the application. Now I'm just going to scroll at the top here and I'm going to point out that yes, it still says that you're applying for a 12-month program, but we have been over that and we have talked about selecting the duration of your program and everything there as well. So I would love to now invite anyone to ask any questions that they may have in the chat, and Claire and I will both start trying to answer any questions that people have, but this is your opportunity. You've got two of us here to answer any questions that you might have, and you don't need to wait for us to respond to an email. So it's a very good opportunity for you as well.
So we've got a couple of questions. So Nick has asked about what we call a reduced study load, which is undertaking 3 courses rather than 4, and whether it's appropriate to upload approval of this now.
You can. We would prefer for you to do it at a later stage because we will have to amend your enrolment later. So if you've got proof or evidence from your home university that they're happy to support you doing a reduced study load, by all means, this is a really good opportunity for you to upload that evidence, whether that's an email trail or a formal letter from them saying that you can do 3 courses. What you will still need to do at a later phase once you're on campus is complete what we call a reduced study application form. And you can do that when you're here, and then you can let us know that you've already uploaded that evidence, and then that way we can process that for you a little bit quicker as well.
Also got a question about course outlines. So one of our students, their home university does not really do course outlines. What should they do?
Okay. It's definitely not something that you can provide yourself. Our academics at ANU won't accept that as evidence that you've completed relevant learning outcomes. But by all means, I think that's something that we can probably follow up with you a little bit more specifically based on what courses you're looking at, and we can liaise with the academic college that you're looking at taking courses with and see what they might be able to accept from you to meet those requirements. But that will definitely be more on a specific or case-by-case basis.
Great. Cool.
All right, well, we have no more questions at this stage, so Claire and I will head off. We want to thank you guys so much for coming today to the webinar session. We hope that it's been useful for you, and we hope to see you at the next one. We'll be sending an email out shortly about our next session. We've got a bit of a suite of webinar sessions that we offer, so we'll have one where we talk to you about course selections. We'll have one where we'll invite someone from the ANU Accommodation Services to come along and talk to you about how to apply for accommodation, what that looks like, what you need to know about that. And then we'll have one kind of just before you start getting ready to leave, where you can just very casually ask us questions, anything that might seem important or relevant to you, like how much is a cup of coffee, or what do I do when I arrive in Canberra, how do I get to campus, any of those kinds of questions that you have. So feel free to also email us at any point. Claire and I are always here to help you, and we want to make the transition to ANU as smooth as possible for you. We know that it can be a little bit overwhelming moving halfway across the world, so we want to help you as much as we can. But thanks again for coming along, and we hope to see you all again very soon.
Thanks, everyone.